What's up, everybody? I'm so excited. I haven't been on the camera in like a while. Oh, you got coffee?
3 minutes.
Oh, for 3 minutes I haven't been on. I know. It's me, Donna Vee, and I'm here tonight with Mr. Sean Morton, and this is Couch Time with
Hi.
Donna and Sean. And I have to tell you, why we're doing what made me think to write to you? I forgot today was even Monday.
Yeah.
It was Big Blind Frank. He messaged during Manifesting Monday and said, "I'm sorry to interrupt your broadcast, but I have a question. Are you doing couch time?" I was like, oh my God, you know what? I'm going to message John right now because I forgot it's Monday.
Yeah. We usually do it like Wednesday, but this works.
No, this works well because Wednesday I have a show at 7 and then a show at 8. And
yeah. I have a private gig on Wednesday.
Do you really? So you were going to blow me off?
No, it's 6:30.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's early.
Yeah, very, very. But hey.
Outside or inside?
I don't know. I have no idea. I think inside.
Is our show October 3rd inside or outside?
Outside.
Oh, thank God.
Yes. Outside.
The weather is going to be great this Saturday for anybody that's lucky enough. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to both shows, actually.
I'm looking forward to both shows too, but I'm saying this one is this Saturday, and I checked out the weather. So that's what's going on. For anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, you can look. I don't know if you could see it in the upper corner, but I could do this.
I see it in the corner.
Yeah, right there. Check it out. Outdoor Comedy Night, Town Pub in Bloomfield, Saturday, September 26th, 8 o'clock show. And I believe it is sold out. I think if anybody calls, there might be 2 seats left, but I don't know.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Sold out.
Yep. So pumped.
Which is a good thing. And I don't even think it's because of me, you, and Sean. I think it's just because people want to get the hell out of their house.
I think so too. It's
I'd
COVID.
like to think that people want to see us perform, but I think people are just chomping at the bit to see something.
Well, I mean, I do know there's going to be a bunch of people there from Brookdale Tavern. Some of my regulars that are very excited because they've seen you, they've seen Shauna, and they are just excited that, Rami opened the doors for us, and I'm really excited. I have to go this week. Some night this week, I have to make time to go over, make sure seating is good and stuff. Daria is my roadie. She'll be helping me handle all the stuff. Frank Simon is going to be there. He said, looking forward to Saturday. Gotten his rotten vegetables. Hey, Frank, let me just tell you, you show up with any rotten vegetables, she better be cute. So
I'd rather have a rotten vegetable than a gun. I had a gun pulled on me once.
Stop it. I
told you that, didn't I?
No.
Oh, I was very early on. I was probably only 3 years in, maybe, or 4 years in. And I did a show. It was all men in Boonton at a Knights of Columbus. And there was an old guy who was 85 years old. And I said, anybody celebrate anything? He's like, it's my birthday, I'm 85. I'm like, it's cool. And then he goes, it's also my 60th anniversary. So I'm like, that's fantastic. And I'm like, listen, you're Italian, right? He goes, yeah. I go, 85. You don't even need Viagra if you're Italian, right? And he's laughing his balls off. And his son stands up and goes, are you talking about fucking my mother? And I went, I'm talking to your dad. Calm down. He goes, keep doing it. I'm going to shoot you dead in the parking lot. And he stands up and pulls his shirt up, and he had a friggin' piece in his pant, in his waistline. So I'm like, shit. So I grabbed my phone. And I'm texting the booker. I'm doing a bit about my phone. I text the booker and go, have my check ready. I'm running off the stage. And I ran off. As soon as I was done, I walked really quick through the crowd. And that guy stood up and he started walking out after me. I literally had the guy had his hand up like this. I grabbed the check. I went outside right to my car, out the door.
Oh my God, it's crazy. My aunt said, hi, Sean and Donna. Again, break legs on Saturday. Sorry, we can't make it there. Daria's going to be there. She said she'll miss you, Aunt Cecilia and Uncle Charlie. Yeah, that's crazy town. Crazy.
Yeah, that was a bad one. I've had some weird ones, but that was the worst. That was that was the scariest one, I think.
I would think so. Somebody pulling a gun on you would be pretty scary.
Well, threatened. I mean, he didn't really actually pull it, but he showed it off. Jackass.
Showed up with peace.
Yeah.
Well, I got to ask you. So what's you've been doing a lot of shows actually.
Had a few. We got honestly, the last one booked is the one next week. So after that, it's kind of like up in the air. But I got a couple irons in the fire. We're gonna see. You know,
I'm excited.
Trying to get some weekends booked out of state because they're a little more lenient out of state than they are here. So we'll see.
And how do you feel about that though? Like seriously, how do you feel about performing inside?
I don't care at this point. I think I'm okay with it. You know, as long as like the clubs that are opening are doing like they're doing the social distancing. They're doing like some clubs actually. There's a club in Ohio that I've been working with the booker to get out there, and like they had a plexiglass shield over the whole stage.
Yeah,
which I get, but it's kind of like performing at a salad bar when you really think about it.
Exactly, it is like performing at a salad bar.
So it's kind of weird, but I think people just need it. You know what I mean? I think people need it. Like my friend Terry has like 19 shows booked, like everywhere from like Pennsylvania to Missouri to Terry McNeely.
Oh, Terry McNeely. It cut out. It sounded like you said Tippy. I'm like Tippy Hedren?
No, he will perform anywhere. So, but you know, the stuff is out there, so you just got to find it at this point.
Yeah.
No one's calling you.
No. Speaking of the stuff is out there, did you see today? And I know you did. Jackie Byrne had a baby.
Yeah, I was blown away. I messaged her. I was like, did I miss something? That was the biggest DL conception and birth I've ever seen in my life.
I was like, Courtney today during dinner said to me, did you see Jackie had a baby? I'm like, what? And I'm trying to do the math. She must have obviously just got pregnant right before COVID. And
yeah, exactly.
Good for her. I mean, she had a son. Congratulations. That's amazing. I love the way she did the announcement. You had me at
very weird. It was very weird. I liked it though. I kind of liked it because, like, you know, some people put like their entire life on social media. Like, hey, you know, I had coffee. Hey, you know what? My coffee was good. Hey, I might have another cup of coffee later on. All right, I get that. I understand. But like, even with like, you know, pregnancies and stuff like that, they tend to like, you know, really document everything. So for me, I saw that. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like that, I was legit surprised. You know, I was legit surprised. And I was happy for her because her and her husband's an awesome guy.
Jay is great.
Jay is such a great guy, and they're going to be great parents. So I'm happy for both of them.
Oh, congratulations is all I want to say. I'm so excited for them. Yeah. That's amazing. I guess she can't host anytime soon. No, Jackie, come on.
No.
No, but she's amazing. All right, let's see. What do we have this? We'd love to have it at our Knights of Columbus, but we can't serve food or have enough people that haven't worth your while yet. As soon as we can, you'll hear from us. That will be great. The Knights of Columbus. I mean, they are a fun crowd.
KOC.
They are a very fun crowd out in Queens.
I have a KOC literally 1,000 feet from my house. That I performed at one time. And there's constantly shows going on there, and I'm like, hey, people, like I live fucking down the street from you. Whatever. Yeah, I'll drive 500 miles for a show, but I can't walk to one.
Okay. What shirt are you wearing? What is that shirt? Your jersey?
This is my new J.J. Watt Houston Texans jersey.
Texans, huh?
Not that I like the team. I greatly admire J.J. Watt.
Okay.
I've been a fan of him, and you know what it was when they had the big monster flood like 2 years ago in Houston.
Yes,
he donated $500,000 of his own personal money to the food bank.
Wow!
So ever since then, I really followed his career, and hey, it was only $16 too, so even better.
There you go. That's awesome. That is awesome. Did you watch any football yesterday at all?
Yes, I watched the Giants season go down the drain with Saquon Barkley blowing a hell. I also watched the Jets pull a typical Jet game and lose by a tremendous amount. I watched the Kansas City in the Chargers game, which was a great game.
Amazing game.
And so I have noticed during COVID, I'm watching more sports than I have. A lot
I
more
love
sports. Yeah, I mean, it's. I understand with the whole social commentary going on with everybody. You know, it's a little different, it's a little weird, but yeah, I've kind of reconditioned myself to watch more sports, which is fun.
Ooh,
Here's more importantly, would you guys do a private New Year's Eve party? Dawn, without a doubt. We have done, yeah, we do New Year's Eve parties all the time. I didn't do one last year.
I have not, but I'll tell you, I didn't do one last year. No, I stay with my kids. I'm always with the kids, but now they're getting older and they're leaving me, Dawn. So now that it's like, you know, it might be actually a lot of fun. Oh, yeah. Kathy says, "Hi, my faves." She's so cute. Ugh.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, more importantly, are you ready to be back on stage on Saturday?
Oh, me? Yeah. Dawn said she has about 40 people. We'll talk about it. We'll negotiate, Dawn. I am really ready. I'm very excited. I am ready. I'm excited that I'm gonna break back in hosting because I know it'll be comfortable for me, like to get back out there because, you know, basically I haven't been on stage since February. Maybe March. I think it was February. I'm trying to think. But I know, like, for my birthday show, which is when you asked me to do the show that we're doing now in 2 weeks, I can't even forget it. I was standing there. It was you, me, and Natty. And you said, what do you want to do on that show on April 6th, I think it was?
I think it was Good Friday, April 10th.
April 10th. And you said, you were like, oh, do you want to host or do you want a middle? And before I could say anything, Natty said, middle. She wants the middle. And then you said, I agree. And I was like, really? But at that point, I had been performing like at minimum once a weekend. And then once during. So it's different now. But I'm excited. And I have been writing, but not, you know, I'm writing in my weird way of writing, which is I have like a big sketch pad next to my bed. I have bullet points of topics. And I write like a serial killer, Sean.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
Yes, I know.
I'm well aware of that. But it's like I told you before, it's different. I mean, listen, I've seen you at Brookdale close the show and do an hour, 45 minutes or whatever it was you did. You can do it. It's not the issue, but it's different from hosting. It's very different from hosting. Yeah. So, you know, we're going to have Mario Lucina, who is my first friend in comedy. My very, very first.
I've met him once, I think, in Pat's room.
Yes. I've known Mario I'm doing comedy 12 years, so I've known him for 12 years. So I have him hosting, and he hasn't been on stage in a while either. So it's either going to be one of those great shows that everybody's going to have a great time. I've heard this place is fantastic, by the way. It's the guy who books it is an amazing guy. He's getting great quality people in too. And the good thing is, if you guys run short on time, don't worry about it. We have to have a hard close at 10 o'clock.
Oh, really?
Yes, because it's on a residential street apparently, and they get noise complaints all the time. So they have to be done by 10. So it's going to be fun. I mean, I'm going to have to watch my clock because you know, I can ramble for an hour and a half. So I don't want to do that. So it's going to be fun, but it's interesting that you're going to be hosting this week and jumping right into the next spot.
I do. I feel like this is actually just a sped up version of what my life was doing before this. And I'm actually okay with it. That's the part that makes me okay with it. I think if I had to go into my first thing doing a middle spot, I might be a little unsure of myself because I will say, like, I bought covers for the microphones. Now, I know we could all bring our own, but if something were to happen, I need to be prepared. I'm always prepared. And so I brought them. I plan on bringing barbicide wipes to like wipe down the microphone and whatever. But, you know, I think that there's so much more to it than just getting back on stage. It's getting back on stage during COVID, you know, like social distancing, seeing people that might be out there wearing masks. I mean, honestly, it's like, I think it's going to be an interesting thing. It's going to be different, but I'm excited.
It's for the time being. It's for the time being. I mean, look, I did a show in Staten Island a few weeks ago.
Just so I could say, one has a table
18 booked for Saturday. Wow, Dawn. Well, okay, so we won't suck. We won't suck.
We're not going to suck.
It was weird. We had 4 comics, and then we had 2 microphones. So when the host was on, he was on, and then he came off and switched his mic with the other mic, and I went on. And then when he was coming back, he would Lysol wipe the mics down, and then keep continuously swapping them out like that. That's
a good idea. Maybe I'll just invest in another microphone. They're not that expensive, and honestly, to me, if it keeps people safe, that's a good idea. So you're saying to just swap the mic out off the cord. You're not saying to have 2.
Well, we had 2 mics. Ours was a little different. We had 2 mics, but I mean, if you're doing pop guards, that's totally fine. I mean, when you're done, you take yours off. The other person has theirs. They pop it right on. That's the easiest way to do it.
Okay. Well, it's going to be. Listen, it's going to be a different situation. Like you said, it's just going to be something new, and we'll get
adapting.
To it.
It's adapting. The only constant is your material and you as the comic, because every single thing is different now. Doing it since you haven't worked yet, I can tell you this because now I've done 5 or 6 shows since COVID, and every one has been completely different.
Really?
Well, they've all been outside. So you got to remember too, when you're outside, you're projecting your voice, and when you're in a normal club or bar or whatever, your voice is bouncing off the walls and it's coming back at you, and then the laughter is also bouncing off the walls and coming back to you. So when you're doing a show outside, you're projecting, and it's just kind of going out, and then the laughter kind of comes out, and then it kind of fizzles a little bit. So you get in your head a little bit by thinking, oh shit, that joke didn't go over well. When they actually are laughing, you're just not getting it in the way that you're used to. It's a complete mind fuck. It's not as bad though as doing comedy and people are sitting in their cars. Like that's. I mean, when I had that, I was just like, I'm like waiting for fucking car horns to honk. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I talked about that when I went to go see Jim Brewer, and I sat in my car going, I feel like this is the closest thing to an Amish Zoom meeting, like, because no one's on the computer, but he's there, one person, and looking at everybody through a windshield, which is like the little boxes on Zoom. And it was just like, I can't imagine. So Dawn said, sound is critical for both the comic and the audience. Don,
sure.
What kind of material do you hit on when you perform? Wait, we'll go back to sound first. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Sean?
No, I agree with Dawn. Sound is very critical because that's the whole premise of comedy, is sound coming out of a person's mouth. And the other sound is that you want laughter coming out of the people's mouth. So when that's compromised or it's changed, it's a little weird. It throws things off. Like, I don't know how these people are doing stand-up shows in Central Park. I have no idea how they're doing that in the least bit. I can understand doing like these rooftop shows or these parking lot shows and stuff like that. But someone was asking me the other day, like, what do you liken it to? And I kind of likened it to Prohibition. When Prohibition was going on and they had all these like little speakeasies popping up, like people would go anywhere to have a drink. So now it's like the same thing. These clubs are closed and these rooms are closed. And like, so people are doing like these amazing things. Like my buddy Soul Joel completely revamped. He had his own club. It was open for like 5.5 months, shuts down. Now this guy's, again, worked 15 years and he finally gets his own brick and mortar club. He redid the entire parking lot of the place where he performs at. And it's like, you've got to be one step ahead. You've always got to be a step ahead,
Well, it's funny that you say that because we talk about that with the blow drying. We're not blow drying in the salon. So at night, when I book my highlights, like late at night, if it's just me and a client, I have it in the back room. So you have to picture, if you picture like a lot, well, you've been in my salon, but like for those of you that haven't, my salon is rather large, right? It's like long. And so in the very back room, I have one chair and one old fashioned type dryer. And I book my highlights at night, and I will, at the very end at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, I will wear my shield, my mask. I put them in the very back, and I run out. And I said, I feel like this is prohibition. Instead of gin, we're doing like blow drying, but I'm not even blow drying. It's just like an under the head, over the head, rather old fashioned, dryer. Frank said, you guys said when the show sells out, you would announce another one. Did you? Yes. That's the October 3rd show.
Yes. It's a different show, Frank. It's in Morris Plains at Tiff's on Route 10. I hate when you have multiple shows, I hate jumping the gun and promoting other shows. You know what I mean? I always try to promote the first show that you're doing. It's the right thing to do. It's the professional thing to do. But if we're sold out, fuck it, we're gonna start promoting the other show. You know what I mean? So it's kind of that's kind of the reason why we're doing it. So yes, we do have another show coming up a week from this Saturday at Tiff's in Morris Plains. I've posted it. I'll be posting it for the next week or so. Donna is featuring on that show. She is not hosting on that show. So it's going to be a little different vibe. But let's answer Kathy's question. Kathy asked the question before.
Donna, what type of material do you hit on when you perform? So, I mean, let me ask you, Sean, what do you think my material is?
Your material is it's a lot like mine in a way where you don't do like setup punchline, and a lot of comics do that. You talk about your like life experience, you talk about your mom, talk about dating, relationships, your kids, things like that. So it's all stuff that's relatable. And it's never the same set twice.
No.
It's interesting, and it's actually commendable because a lot of people fall into that rut. Look, I fall into that rut a lot of doing the same set over and over again, but I constantly take things out, put things back in, write new stuff, tweak things, change the order, change the ending, whatever it is. But I always got to tell you, look at your wrist because you do focus. It's all over the place. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Thank you. My answer worked the crowd well.
Yes, she does, Aunt Cecilia.
So one of the things, if I had to answer that, because I've been thinking a lot about that, especially now having to get ready for my middling spot, is, I like to jump around for topics, but they're all relatable. There's some self-deprecation. I'm comfortable with that. I don't find that to be like anything that I'm embarrassed about. I have fun playing off that, like the idiosyncrasies of my childhood and how it relates to my adulthood, and how, I mean, even like, I'll tell you what, I said this during the beginning of quarantine. It hit me that I found and felt a weird sense of comfort being banished to my house, because as a kid, being raised really strict and having to be home a lot and growing up in a rec room, like being in my basement and doing shows was weird, because I did that when I was little, except for, I was drinking hot water out of a cup, doing coffee commercials, pretending, and like inventing like shows by reading Sweet Pickles books. And now I read to kids in the morning. It's like, it is very weird. The parallels. It is the circle of life. So yeah. So Dawn said, where's our second show and how many people are allowed?
So I believe the second show is at Tiff's in Morris Plains, Dawn. I believe there is 50 to 60 people allowed, and I believe we have half them sold already, because we had sold a bunch from April when the show was originally scheduled for, and the guy's honoring all the tickets for it. So anybody who bought tickets for that, and I know, and he texted me today, and he was like, we sold a bunch of tickets over the weekend just from posting. So It'll probably sell out, I would imagine, if not close to it. You know,
I think you know what? I think too, if the weather is going to be nice, I think people are going to buy things last minute. I think what people are doing is they're waiting because that's the one. I don't know about you, but in comedy, for me, like I know for you, like you perform in Atlantic City and larger places, you know, people buy tickets ahead of time because they know they have to, they want to, they want a good seat. But I think that now more than ever, like people are watching the weather, but people want to get out. So as soon as that weather comes out, people are going to be on the phone buying the tickets.
Yeah,
I do.
I definitely agree with that too. Plus, this guy's doing comedy 4 nights a week now at this place.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's doing Wednesday shows, Thursday open mics, and then Friday and Saturday shows. So this turned out to be like a little buffer for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know?
So Dawn says she's going to get a group together. And Kathy, just so you know, this is really nice. Donna makes you feel very comfortable. She's like a good friend you want to hang out with. My aunt said she is the good friend you want to hang out with. So basically, I talk about burying bodies and how I'll never give them up the spots that we bury them.
Yes. Very true.
And Frank said, is it 21 over?
18-year-olds go. You know what, buddy? I'm going to look at the flyer real quick for you since you can't look at the flyer. See, that was a joke because he's blind. No, it's 21 and over. It is 21 and over. Dinner's at 7 if you decide you want to get dinner. Doors are at 8, and then the show time is 8:30. It's a 2-item minimum too. So you just buy your ticket, you have a cocktail, you get some nachos, make it a typical night.
I'm going to actually, I think I can actually get the flyer up right now for us.
He's doing what?
Let me see. Yes, I love this flyer too. It's pretty hot.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same one we had from the last time. We just changed the dates on it, basically.
No, but I love it because I remember my hair like that. I'm such an ass. I know. I like when you say that too, and you're like, you're such an ass. That makes me feel so good.
There you go. But yeah, it's going to be a fun one. Both are going to be fun. I'm excited to work with Shauna Lane. Shauna Lane is a great comic too.
She's funny.
We haven't given her enough props tonight, so she's a great comic, and I'm really looking forward to that too.
Yeah. I'm just excited to hang out with you guys again. Like I feel
right. There's certain friends I haven't seen. Like, I mean, certain friends I've hung out with, certain friends I went on vacation with last week. You know what I mean? So it's like I've seen a lot of people. I relaxed. I got tan. Yeah. I took a 75 milligram gummy.
You did?
On Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday night. My friend gave me one, and she's like, okay, well, this is, it's going to kick you. I'm like, no, it's not going to do anything really. So then it was like 8 o'clock. I took it. Like 8:30, nothing. 9 o'clock, nothing. 9:30, nothing. 10 o'clock, nothing. 10:02, stroke victim. I was like, what the fuck? And I'm looking at the sky. I'm like, if that star moves over here, and if that one moves over here, we can make a dragon. Like, I was fucking out of it. I was out of it.
Amazing.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was fun. I had a little bit. My friend's little baby was with us.
Oh,
little 16-month-old. Look, there we go. See, with the black and white pictures, I kind of like meld in. Like I look like a floating head. Like you could tell I'm wearing a shirt, but like I don't have shoulders. First of all, I don't have shoulders to begin with anyway. Let alone they cut my picture off, and I have no shoulders at all. That picture of Mario is probably 10 years old. Because he's another one. He's another one like you who doesn't listen to me when I say get professional headshots. And then when you got to put a flyer together, you got to scroll through fucking 13,000 pictures to try and find one that's either A, usable, B, doesn't have 15 people in the picture. Get a fucking headshot.
Okay, well, Dawn can help me with that because Dawn does. Oh, wait a minute. I was going to ask about you, buddy. Kevin Garifo is watching. I love Kevin so much. I
do too. He's my little buddy. I shouldn't say little. He's like 37 years old, but yeah, he's a great guy. He's jealous of my man cave right now. I'll tell you that right now. I shouldn't have said man cave. My office. I have all my wrestling stuff on this side, so he can't really see it, but he'd be jealous if he saw the office.
Exactly. Okay, so wait, let me see. It is going to be epic. What's up, Larry? Sorry about your words yesterday. You and my Jets sucked it up.
Oh, they lost too?
He's a Eagles fan, Larry.
Nah,
He's
gotcha.
a Girl Scout Cookie fan. Yes, he said, so Frank is looking for someone if they want a ride share. Hard part is finding a ride. Anyone want to pick me up and drop me up afterwards in Edison, LOL? Big blind Frank.
Frank, what you should do is take the train up and have Scott pick you up and have all you guys go to the show too, and then you can just sleep over Scott's house.
See? I like how you solved that.
Frank,
I don't even know
Scott for everything.
Scott, yeah. Everybody was saying hi to Kevin. I love it.
He's a great guy.
I miss him. I actually was with Christine Gurlon yesterday. We were talking about Kevin.
Very nice. I haven't seen Christine. I haven't seen any of my real comedy friends probably since February. Like I've had a couple. Like I hung out with Joe Fernandez and Chris Johnston at the show that we had, and then Jeff Paul. But like I haven't seen you guys, haven't seen Chris or Natty or Kevin or like any of those people since February, basically. So it's gonna be a fun night. It's gonna be a fun night.
I feel really lucky, blessed, because I have that second career of doing hair. So I've seen Pat, I've seen Christine. I mean, that I'm lucky about. But Christine is like one of my pod buddies, and her and Al. So it's like with them, I've seen them in my yard. I've watched football with them. And so that's been kind of fun, like I have to say. But we want to come.
I think it's the start of things changing over now, too.
Yeah, we wanted to know if we can come see you.
What do you mean?
Me and Christine. Christine's like, let's get in the bug, put the top down, and go shout out in front of Sean's house.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know.
Who cares?
I know. Wait, and we could get Kevin, and Kevin, you could be in the back with a mask. You could stay in the car. I know.
I'll bring down a Bud Light for Kevin.
What?
I'll bring down a Bud Light for Kevin.
Yeah, I respect the fact that Kevin has been respecting the quarantine. If it wasn't for me being in the salon, honestly, I think I'd be still home like all the time.
Oh, not me. I've been to Target and Walmart probably 360 times since the middle of February.
No, I'm too nervous. And Scotty's is open, Dawn. I know that. I don't know what capacity.
Scotty's is open, and Scotty's is at 25% right now, from what I gather.
Yeah.
But I haven't performed there in a couple of years, so.
Yeah, me neither.
Yep.
So what else is going on? How are your podcasts going?
Podcasts are going great. This is one of 3. There is going to be a 4th one coming. I don't know if it's going to be this week. It's probably going to start next week. Maybe I'll start it after the second show so I can really devote the proper time to it. It's just me. It's just me interviewing people. So I'm actually going to record 2 episodes as demos. And this is the one that I'm pushing out to major networks. Okay. Because I've said this before on here too. I don't know what the state of comedy is going to be. I'm doing this full time now, so I don't know what the state of comedy is going to be. So we've talked about pivoting and redirecting. So I've kind of doing 3 podcasts a week to try and get my vocal muscles up and to get my interview muscles up and things of that nature. So doing one of my own where it's just me interviewing the person. And it's going to be a lot of different things. I'm going to have, professional baseball players, musicians, professional wrestlers, artists, photographer. I want to do everything. I don't want to just pigeonhole and do one topic. Like even with the music podcast that I do, there's different people on there. Like we've had politicians on, we've had musicians, comedians, just different kinds of people, Right. And I made some great friends. Like I'm friends with a bass player from Morris Day and the Time. Like, how does this happen?
Really?
Yes. Like we interviewed him. His name is Andre Holmes. He is a great guy. our friend Mike Masiello hooked it up for us, and
that's great.
And like, it's every day, it's back and forth with him. And he's a young dude. He's like 35 years old,
Wow.
But he's just a great dude. So we've met some really cool people doing the podcast and stuff, like some of the Sopranos guys, the guitar player from Volbeat. We have this week we have a guy from the Karate Kid 3 is going to be on there. So we're doing like different stuff, talking about music, but like my solo one is going to be anything and everything. Because I don't want to just talk about wrestling, and I always want to talk about comedy or music and stuff like that. Like I want to like get into some like weird shit. Like I want to talk to like a fucking paleontologist and say, what would make you get into this? And like, how do you find this like enriching in your life? Like I want to do something like different like that. And I want to push that out to other formats, like to, whether it's another online format or serious or something like that. So it's just ways of trying to keep the comedy muscles going when there's no comedy.
Yeah.
So, but I do recommend listening to the Joe Rogan podcast with Miley Cyrus. I did hear that this weekend, and it was a phenomenal interview.
Really?
Yes, phenomenal interview. And
wow, that's interesting.
Yes, and I also listened to the Rogan podcast with Post Malone. I'm a huge fan of Post Malone. I've loved him for years. And it was a 4-hour podcast.
What?
Yes, it was 4 hours. And you actually hear them from the very beginning. You can actually hear them getting more stoned as it goes along. Like all they did was smoke pot the entire episode.
Okay, so what's your opinion of that? Let me, I'm being serious when I ask you that. Because I've had people say to me, you should get stoned and read books at night.
Like what? The kids' books?
Yeah, but not to kids, obviously. Like
I don't know. I don't think not for you. Not for you because you've developed this kind of persona.
Exactly.
For the kids, and that's a totally different animal. It's a totally different animal.
What's your opinion? Not on me, but what's your opinion? Okay, so see now, Dawn said drug use is not entertaining, but like. I was gonna say, how do you feel about that? Like, do you think that's funny? Like, what's that?
Well, again, there's a difference, and that's a personal preference too. Like for me, I don't even have a drink before I go on stage.
I hear you.
I don't even have a drink before I go on stage, and if I do, I personally feel that I'm affected by it. Just because I'm nowhere near like you, but my thoughts are always going all over the place too. And I need to have full control when I'm on stage, and I need to be able to guide the ship if there's a heckler or if something goes on. So I don't like to be impaired when I'm working. And I would never do that. I would never do like an interview anybody stoned, because it literally be like Chris Farley on Saturday Night Live with Paul McCartney. It'd be like, remember that time that you did this? That was awesome. Like that's all it would be. That'd be babbling. It doesn't make sense. But these guys are so conditioned to doing it. They're so conditioned to smoking. And I'm not talking like dirt weed like you buy on the street. These guys have this hydroponic bullshit from California that like one hit gets you knocked on your ass for 12 hours. They talked for 4 hours and made complete sense, which was mind-blowing to me. And the fact that this guy, Joe Rogan's the best interviewer on podcast interviewer in the country.
All right, I'm going to have to listen to it now.
He's got the number one podcast in the country. He just signed a $100 million contract with Spotify to do podcasts. This is his thing. He has it narrowed down. He's a smart guy. He's super intelligent, knows everything. He can pull that off. I would never do that personally. Yeah. I'm too much of a control freak when it comes to being on, whether it's stage or doing a podcast or things like that. I need to be in complete control. So I'm drinking coffee. I'm not even drinking, like during the quarantine when I was doing the live feeds every night, I was having a drink during them. And then at some point I was like, shit, I'm slurring. Like I can't do that. So like I stopped doing it. And once in a blue moon I would do it, but it's not professional to me. But some people make their whole act out of it. Some people make their whole act out of it.
I know.
Doug Stanhope.
I am having a glass of wine and not slurring because it's the end of my night. I've been like, I don't really need to make an excuse actually, but
No.
yeah, Dawn said it's like watching someone play video games. I mean,
yes, it's a little weird. Yeah, it's a little weird, but if I'm putting content out, I want people to be entertained or informed or things like that. There's no need for them to watch me like look up at the sky and try and make a dragon out of stars. That's not fun for anybody.
Right. That's a good question. Was he sponsored by that drug seller?
I don't know, but like he's if you love doing interviews, like this is the guy to listen to. And like he's so informed on everything. Like the guy has one of those hyperbaric chambers in his house, this cryotherapy chamber, where like you step into the thing that's like minus 75 degrees.
Like Tony Robbins.
Yeah, it forces all the blood to your body and it heals everything. Like this guy's he's a maniac, but he's been doing it for 20 years, you know, and his podcast is 10 years old, so he knows what he's doing, you know. But again, that's off topic, but
I wonder what kind of research he does about each person he interviews, or does he have a team that does it, whatever the case may be, because that's
when you're making $100 million a year or $100 million to do podcasts, you have a full team working for you.
That's pretty.
But again, a lot of these people, I mean, he's a comic too, so he knows a lot of these people he's interviewing, but he's also getting big celebrities too. Like he's got the Miley Cyrus. He interviewed Obama. You know what I mean? Like he's interviewed tons of people. You know what I mean? Like really ridiculous people.
Now I'm going to go listen to his podcast. I had no idea. But is everything just audible or is there any video?
He does have video, but now with the new contract with Spotify next year, it'll all be audio, I believe.
For me, I'm a very visual person. So for me to be interested and hold interest in watching, I prefer to see a bit of it or have the option. But to just listen, I have a hard time focusing.
Well, we're doing that too. Like when we do our music podcast, we have, you know, when we upload on iTunes, we upload video and audio. So if you want to just hear the audio, go for it. If you want to watch the video, that's there for you too.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I need more than just listening. For me, I don't know. I mean, everybody's different, but like even Kevin Garifo, I don't, you know, I with Shining Wizards, like, I don't even know because I love him and I shout out him.
Yeah. It's wrestling. That's one of the few podcasts I listen to. Yeah. You know, because there's millions of them.
Emma wants to know who that boy is from. Donna. I know. Doesn't he look like a little boy? John, I said when I came on, I'm like, look at you tonight. He got a new haircut. Look, I'll bring him up closer. Look at his new hair, right?
Yeah, but it's filling in too.
It looks good.
Filling in.
And wait,
I miss John Kirshner. I was actually going to support them last week. I was going to support them last week in Staten Island, and the show got rained out. And then the rescheduled date was when I was down in North Carolina, so I couldn't go.
Oh, really?
Yes. So if anybody on here, follow John Kirshner as well. He's a great guy. He's a funny guy. I bust his balls daily. He busts my balls daily. But I have friends on two hands as far as comedy goes, and he's on one of them. So definitely check him out. He's got a great podcast.
Oh, yeah, and I love Emma. Emma! I shout Emma out every morning during story time, and I don't always say, but sometimes I'll say, Emma the piano player, because she is so adorable and posts all the videos. Oh my God, she's so cute.
Yeah, she's the real talent in that family too, by the way.
I love when she calls her dad out in the garage. Like when she's like, come on, mom wants you. Tell your mother to go inside. I'm not coming inside. And I'm like, oh my God, John, you crack me up so much. Did you see his post the other day about how he got in trouble by the principal of the school?
Yes, that was funny.
For the homeschooling?
Yeah.
I thought that was great. You're so fun. I love him. And Mike Sicoli, who does his podcast with, and every time I see him, all I want to say is, like, he reminds me of the guy from Rudolph. You talking about Cornelius? Is that who it is?
I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
He's got such that beard. It's like, I just feel like it looks almost like you could like pop it on and pop it off. Like
Like
he had,
yeah, it's like it's a Lego beard.
yeah, he's so sweet. He's a good,
He's a great,
he's funny,
very funny.
very funny guy.
Yep.
But we love you, John. See that? Silver and gold. That's right. It is. He said silver and gold. Oh my God. One of my favorite memories is John Kirshner at a Christmas show at Brookdale Tavern wearing his bathrobe and coming out looking like Cousin Eddie.
He actually texted me and asked me if I thought it was a good idea to do that. I said absolutely.
Absolutely. That was one of my favorite things ever. And yeah, Daria said John and Mike's podcast is awesome. And Daria, where did you tell me that you just saw them recently? Was it in it was Staten Island.
Yeah, they did the comedy festival there.
She said it was great. It was such an awesome time.
Didn't get to go.
Staten Island scares me a little bit, but I got to get out there because my
story is a shithole. It's a real shithole, but
it's a real shit.
Yeah, it is. I went to college there. It's a real shithole. So
really,
yep.
I taught a hair show.
All right, let's wrap this up. Right. We're going to battle 3 hours here.
All right, Big Nose Pete.
Yes, it's a great bar in Staten Island, and that's where he was doing the shows at. And we used to go there to see cover bands all the time. Great bar. It's tiny, but it has a great stage in there. It's a cool, very cool place. Right on Arthur Kill Road.
Aw.
So we're going to post these shows. Saturday. Correct. We're going to post these shows. I guess we're going to go with the thing that the Saturday show is sold out, right?
I mean, anybody that wants to like call and see what's going on if there's a last minute seat. But last I heard, it was 50-person capacity, and I want to say that he sold 48 tickets. So that technically is not sold out. I know, but I know people that have said to me they're bringing. I don't even know. So I just keep saying it because I'm kind of nervous. But Dawn said, "Great show tonight. Thank you, Dawn. Dawn's amazing. You had to hear Dawn heckle for me today. I went to go pick up books. Really? I went to Milburn, and Dawn and I took a ride because I said to her, look, we had to have a little business meeting, a little powwow, and I just love her. So she comes out with her Gucci sunglasses, Sean. They look like another windshield on her face, and they look gorgeous on her. So I'm like, let's go. We'll take a ride together. We go to this woman's house. Okay. I doubt the woman's watching right now. I know, Dawn, we talked about this, and we're like, maybe we shouldn't say anything in case she watches. I doubt she's still awake. And we had to go through a bunch of books. And then she's like, I have so many more books. Dawn comes up with these movie star glasses, and she goes, do you know who this is? Donna reads to children every day. She's an actress and a comedian, and she reads to children, and then she donates the books. Really? And she's trying to like negotiate the prices. Wait, look, she goes, oh my God, you're killing me. Dawn, you were amazing. Me, I'm ready to hand this woman all the money in the world for these books. I don't care. So we're going through these piles of books with her daughter. It was so sweet. And the daughter's like, I don't want to give away this book. I'm like, you like this book? Tell me the premise of this book. We had such a good time. And we came to this one book, and I wanted it so badly, but it looked like somebody had used it because they ran out of toilet paper. And Dawn looked at me, and I looked at Dawn, and she's like, and I'm like, all right, I could have cleaned it off. It was we had so much fun, and it was a good time. But we have boxes of books and stuff. Dawn,
good. Keep you
right
busy.
now, it looks like Grey Gardens in my house. And do you know what that means?
No.
Little Edie, she was a recluse that lived in the Hamptons, I believe. Raccoons came into the home. She was a little crazy, kind of like me. And the difference is instead of me having furs and crystal everywhere, I have books. It looks basically, it doesn't look good. If the police came in here, it doesn't look good. If they saw the way I wrote comedy and they saw the books I surround myself with, I'm probably going to get arrested as one of those Hollywood people that are like probably. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah. All right. You're right. Sean, I love you for even saying that. Don't manifest that.
Yeah. No, I said it's like a manifesto. Your comedy.
See? And I'm like, don't manifest that is what I heard.
No, it's a manifesto.
All right. Forget. I'll look it up.
Yeah, Google it.
You guys, it's been amazing. I'm so excited. John,
Yeah.
I'm going to see you on Saturday.
We're going to see each other Saturday, and we're going to see all our friends on Saturday. If we don't see you this Saturday, click on the little flyer for the show on October 3rd.
I'm going to post it everywhere right now. Is G going to be there on Saturday?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, guys, here it is. I'm going to post it right after we get off. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for watching. We will be back next Monday, and I will dissect every single minute of Donna's act.
Yes! Perfect.
Bye.
All right, guys. Love you so much. See you tomorrow. Bye.